took them out, and they don't plan on taking them out because they see such a drastic reduction in their traffic accidents. When I inherited this program, I started looking at the intersections because I didn't really know a lot about this program. But I saw some intersections that made no sense to me. And I kind of launched a project to take this on. We approached Redflex and said, hey, these intersections make no sense to me. I want to take them out. And I got to tell you, Redflex was pretty decent to deal with. They did not have to deal with us because we had 4 remaining years existing on our contract that had already been inked in 2007. And here I am coming at them in 2010 and asking them, hey, let's take these out because they're silly. They don't get any good. And the way I look at these, I want these things to help traffic move along because I think it's all of our responsibilities here up on the dais, and myself included. It's our responsibility to move traffic through this valley. It is a nightmare as it is. We don't need the extra help when things hinder, and that's what some of these cameras were doing. So these were the existing intersections that were in place. Proposed was $395 in Bear Valley. I never let that one happen. These are the ones that I negotiated to have removed, and they're gone now. They made no sense to me. They were not a traffic hazard issue. Didn't propose any safety issues to our citizens. And when I looked at the data before they even went in, I said, these intersections have never been a problem. Let's get them out of there. And we did. Redflex also, I told them, I said, this isn't a cost-neutral program for me. I've got an employee sitting there all day looking at these things, these videos, and comparing DMV photos to videos of drivers. And Redflex stepped up and is paying us $100,000 a year for our employees that have to do that program. I'm going to let them explain cost neutral if you have an issue for that, because that still kind of confuses me. I'm a pretty simple guy. I want to talk a little bit about violations, and it was too hard to read for the past year, so I kind of pared it down in the last 6 months. And we're going to start on the left in July, for example. Total flashes of the camera, if you will, detections were 5,358. Then they go to Redflex to be reviewed. They canceled about, you can see 1,500 of them right there. Then they send them to us. They send that 3,863 detections to us. We look through them and we rejected almost 500 more. And the reasons that they get rejected are you can't recognize the driver, it's Joe's Bus Company and we don't know who the driver is. There might be paper plates on the vehicle. Just a variety of reasons across the board that we will say, no, we don't want to go that route. So after we review them, the total approved violations that actually get sent forward to be sent out as citations in the mail, if you will, are 481. Now those go to court, and the number that gets dismissed either at court. Now when a person receives that citation, they still have the option of coming to my station and saying, hey, Cliff, can I see that video? I don't think I ran the red light to see it. So we pull it up, and my staff will sit down with them, and we'll go over it. And I'm an old school kind of guy, and what I do is tie goes to the runner. If it's too close to the call, we can't really determine if it was a flagrant violation. It gets dismissed. My staff has my full authority to do that. And I think that's fair to our citizens. So another 49 or 50 of those get dismissed. At the station level, we're in court by Commissioner Center, who reviews all of them. So basically, if you look at all of those numbers across the board, a lot of people are getting their pictures taken, but about 10% of them in the overall scheme of things are actually going forward to court. So that's the data on that. The question came up, when red light cameras are installed, do they pose a rear-end collision problem? And I didn't know the answer to that at the time. I got to be honest with you. So I had staff research that, and these list every intersection that we have from 2007 to present day. The number on the left indicates how many total crashes were at that intersection. The number on the right of the forward slash indicates how many of them were rear-end collisions. So If we go 2007 at the top, there were 70 there. In 2007, one of them was a rear-end collision, and so on. It's pretty self-explanatory. This is a breakdown on how citations come out. And there's been a lot of questions asked of me over the years. Hey, how come a red light camera ticket is so expensive? Well, a red light camera ticket and a police officer pulling you over and writing you a ticket for running a red light is $456. They are one and the same. A red light is a red light is a red light. These are surcharges and other miscellaneous fees that come out of it. All of these fines are set by state legislature, not the city of Victorville, not the county. And all of these miscellaneous DNA fees, things like that, are what are extracted from a person's fine, and then they go to traffic school or whatever the issue might be up there. The city of Victorville is supposed to receive about $136.90 off of each one of these types of tickets. If it was a red light ticket from a police officer or from a camera. But usually when folks go to court and the fine is reduced, which is very, very common, we end up with about $22.62 per ticket. So that's what you get. This is a graph showing what how our collisions went after 2007 when the red light cameras were installed. I was asked to discuss panhandlers with you here tonight.
Mr. Mayor, council members, thank you very much for this time. You were turned in 192 cards at 3 minutes a pop. It's about 3 hours and 12 minutes, and we pared that down and gave our time to Brandon Wood. That being the case, I hope you're just a little bit lenient. I'm going to cram everything I can in 3 minutes and make it rock. To make it clear to the council and to the Sheriff's Department, and to my good friend Rudy Cabrialis, who's never seen us out there at the tea party, and it's not a tea party, it's a council meeting, and to Jim Cox, all of those tea parties and that members that are here tonight that appreciate the Sheriff's Department, please say aye. Aye. Thank you very much. We're very much good citizens and good stewards, and we appreciate the good work that the Sheriff's Department does all the time. We're going to address with the three people that we've got to try to consolidate this tonight, the practical sense of what we're talking about, the legal sense, and in that sense, not only Brandon Wood, but the oath under which council people take when they come to office, that it's not ceremonial, that it's designed to protect the Constitution in all little things and also in very large things. The support of the elected officials is going to be addressed tonight. And turning the tide of the encroachment of government on citizenry is an issue we would like to make clear. Agendizing the removal of the red light cameras is something that we would like your council to do in the long run. In the practical sense of the situation, I think I can give you some more deputies' time back. If we look at the Federal Highway Administration 2005 study that was released on the accident rates at intersections equipped with red light cameras, the report found a 15% spike in rear-end accidents and a 24% more injuries, most likely caused from slamming on brakes. That's the Federal Highway Administration 2005. To that end, when you're coming through an intersection, it's a lot like piloting an airplane or piloting a vehicle. You're looking in the rear view mirror, you know how fast the traffic is coming behind you. The red light camera light does not understand that. You're looking at the clearness of the intersection as you pass through it, to the right, to the left. You're deciding whether to brake, you're watching for pedestrians. You have all of these critical thinking issues happening at the same time, and all of a sudden you're having to weigh in the equation of slamming on my brakes or stepping on the gas because I might lose a car payment, a house payment, or something to that nature. That is not an equation that you need to have at that particular time. As I came here, I approached the green light on Hesperia Road with 1 foot on the brake, wondering, and do I have enough time to burst through this thing before it clicks on me, because you cannot gauge that timing. We all grew up, well, not we all, I guess I'm showing my age. A number of us grew up without even having seatbelt laws. God knows how we survived. We managed to make it through this whole world on yellow lights, and we all made it. It's not to say that there aren't accidents and we don't want a perfect world, but life can sometimes be a sloppy thing, and the Tea Party members prefer freedom. All in favor say aye. Aye. I promise, Ryan, I'm done. We're having a little fun. This is dry potato chip stuff, and I wanted us to have some fun. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a letter to you here tonight from Councilmember Bill Holland. Dear fellow council members, this is from his spirit. I'm writing this letter in response to the issue of red light cameras in the city of Victorville. As a council member in the Victorville City Council, I am completely opposed to red light cameras. These cameras adversely affect the citizens I serve. I have had many contacts with experienced citizens who are universally opposed to these cameras. I would have attended this council meeting tonight personally, but I cannot, as our meetings are on the same night. I've authorized this letter to be read in my absence. I'm certain that an issue raised is funding the necessary removal of these devices. It would appear that the city of Victorville has already profited from these devices and would have provided ample funding for the removal. I urge you to remove all red light cameras, as their existence at the least is very unpopular and at the worst unconstitutional. Many appellate courts have ruled the images are inadmissible. Most importantly, I would challenge you to consider the citizens you serve. The second letter that I have is from County Supervisor Brad Victorville. Honorable council members, normally I do not presume to share with you my opinion on matters of how to govern your city. However, I believe the citizens of the County of San Bernardino have a right to travel freely through our county without having some jurisdictions imposing unreasonable surveillance or enforcement measures. Clearly, a great number of citizens of the so-called red light cameras consider them to be a violation of privacy and intrusive on a basic level that most Americans do not agree with. Further, the constitutionality of these devices has been called into question by many concerned citizens. Ample revenue has been realized to more than pay for the removal of such devices. There should be no question about the funds being taken from the general fund or other appropriate account to accomplish this. Therefore, I respectfully recommend that the city of Victorville discontinue the use of red light cameras. This represents my opinion only, and is not necessarily the position of the County of San Bernardino as a whole, or the Board of Supervisors as a whole. Thank you for your consideration of this important matter, Brad Victorville. So it's not just the citizens that this issue lies with. It's a great number of elected officials that have moved into public office at different times. For your review, I can give you the appellate court ruling that states that for several reasons, 3, 4, 5 of them, why it's unconstitutional, and Brandon Wood can explain that. I'm going to let Clint Ayer take some time right now to address the issue with another supporter. And then Jim Willis from the Oath Keepers is going to use his time, and then go to Brandon Wood. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. It is in the spirit of the Tea Party that we bring this to you. I would never bring anything less than professional or polite. It's intended that we have fun with this new interest in government by citizens, and that those of us who've been in the military, that we take that oath very seriously. And Angela, congratulations from the Tea Party for your office, and congratulations, Jim Kennedy. Ladies and gentlemen in the Tea Party, all in favor of congratulations, say aye. Aye.
If I could remind you all to please turn off your cell phones, that would really help as we try to hear what the testimony that's coming before us. Thank you. He took about 2 minutes of your 3, so.
Okay. So thank you, Mayor and Council. I'd like to give the appellate court reading right here to Jim Kennedy, so he could look that over. He had questions about that, so.
Thank you. Would you like that in the record?
Yes. Please, if you can put that in the record.
Just for a moment. You know, we have, every now and then we'll have these great meetings like this. This is a great meeting, but whenever you want to bring something up to the council, if you go to the clerk's desk, that is very important. There's safety issues with that.
I apologize for that 100%.
Just share that there's the door to the council and everything else, not put in the council with the mayor.
No problem. I apologize.